A special word of thanks to respected Principal Dr. Princey Marlin, who is a mine of ideas and action, and to the head of the Department of Visual Communication, Dr. Margaret Suganthi, a very long-time friend and academic colleague, and also to the association in charges. Thank you for inviting me here today, and a warm word of congratulations to the newly elected leaders. So we can give a thundering round of applause to the leaders, because to lead is to come forward. Yeah? And they represent you. They represent you. And today's topic is on social media. Lead with ideas and creativity. The three words, lead, ideas, and creativity, are very, very important. I wanted the word lead because who is leading the stage today? Who is தமிழ்லையும் நான் பேசுவேன். கொஞ்சம் இங்கிலீஷில் கவனிக்கிற மாதிரி இருந்தீங்கன்னா தமிழுக்கு மாற்றுவேன், இல்லைன்னா கொஞ்ச நேரம் இங்கிலீஷில் தான் பேசுவேன். Who is leading the stage today? அப்படியா? அப்படியா? Okay, your idea is like your chief minister is leading. For teachers like us and for the principals, it is the students who lead the stage today, because you lead in social media, you lead with thoughts and ideas. And while I was waiting, I got to see your movies, the short films, or 3 movies paaka mudinchu. You're leading with so much of creativity. And the first song, Kannukulla, who made that? First one? A passed out student. Okay. And the second one, third one, and the third one, I come from a literature background, so my appreciation is for the art of it. Technical side, எனக்கு சொல்ல தெரியாது, but I know like there's a lot of technicality that has gone into, and that brought out even the simplest of things in a very beautiful way. So you are, I'm sure all of you have a social media account. How many of you have Instagram? How many of you on Instagram? Instagramல இருக்கீங்களா? Okay. பாதி இன்ஸ்டாகிராமா ஃபுல் இன்ஸ்டாகிராம்? ஓகே, குட். ஃபேஸ்புக்கில் இருக்கீங்களா? இருக்க மாட்டாங்க கொஞ்சம் பேர். இல்லை, நான் இருக்கேன். ஏன் அப்படின்னா எல்லாரும் அது ஒரு ஐடியா இருக்குல்ல, அது ஜென்சிக்கு இல்லை. ஆமாம், கொஞ்சம் நல்லா யோசிக்கிறவங்களாம் ஃபேஸ்புக்கில் இருக்காங்க. நான் இருக்கேன். யாராவது ஃபேஸ்புக்கில் இருக்கீங்களா? ஓகே, fine. Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have a YouTube channel? Yes. Once upon a time, or account adu open panni vachingla? Then this talk is for you, because you are leading the whole world with your thoughts and ideas. And romba beautiful, whatever the 3 movies are, and I'm also told like you will be having other movies also. You have it in you. What I see as a marked thing is, unga kitta creativity nariya irukku. Creativity nariya irukku. And this is an age of content creation. Would you agree with me? This is an age of content creation. புது கான்டென்ட் நிறையா வருது. கான்டென்ட் முன்ன காலத்துல எல்லாம் கான்டென்ட் அப்படின்னா மூவி மட்டும்தான் இருக்கும், இல்லைன்னா புக்ஸ் இருக்கும். அதை தாண்டி tell me, wherever you have content, everywhere there is content creation. Every time like you finish your college, 6:15க்கு முடியுமா? எத்தனை மணிக்கு முடியும்? 6:10 முடியும். Where do you go? Hostel, home அப்படின்னு நாங்கள் நினச்சிட்டு இருப்போம். But where do you go? You go? டீ ஷாப் போகிறீங்களா? சரி. அதுக்கப்புறம் you go into your media world. You go into your media world and you come out of it. I'll always think, நான் படிக்கிற காலத்தில் நிறைய படிக்க சொல்லையில் கொஞ்சம் பிடிக்காதப்ப என்ன நினைப்பேன் அப்படின்னா, நம்ம வாழ்க்கையில் பெருசாகிட்டோன்னு நிறையா சினிமா மட்டும் பார்க்கணும் அப்படின்னு நினைப்பேன். அண்ட் உங்களுக்கு என்ன ஒரு வாய்ப்புனா, you've chosen a subject where you can watch movies as a subject, create movies as a subject, and that's a privilege. So when we say social media, there are 2 types of content that you have. One is trending content. Yes. Another one is inspiring content. When you go back home, when you switch on your phone, or whenever you get to watch, what kind of content do you watch? Is it trending content or inspiring content? Trending? Yeah, mostly trending content. Like, how do you understand it's trending? With the views that you have, okay, and உங்களுக்கு அது entertaining-ஆ இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. Say, 10 years from now, you all will become professionals. Yes? All of you will be a media professional. Fine? Will you be a trending creator or an inspiring creator? Inspiring creator. Really? Wow. எனக்கு இந்த இடத்துல ஒரு டவுட் இருக்கு. நம்ம ட்ரெண்டிங் கான்டென்ட்டாகவே பார்த்துட்டு இருந்தோன்னா எப்படி இன்ஸ்பைரிங் கான்டென்ட் க்ரியேட் பண்ண முடியும்? என்னோட கொஸ்டின் வேலிடா? யா? ஸோ தட் மீன்ஸ், யா, குட், யூ கேன் வாட்ச் ட்ரெண்டிங் கான்டென்ட், பட் creating an inspiring content can always have depth. So depth over trending is something that we will focus on today. And yeah, can I have the next slide? So how to lead the social media with ideas and creativity. Engage in depth over trending. Depth அப்படின்னா, when do you think content is inspiring? Yes? Somebody said something. Almost trending and inspiring are same, because trending is also entertaining, inspiring is also entertaining. Fine? And trending is something that you want to go back to it again and again. Inspired content too அப்படிதான் திரும்ப போகும். There is just one thing that makes a difference. That is, trending content என்ன பண்ணுவோம் அப்படின்னா, you will just scroll away. பார்த்துட்டு scroll பண்ணுவீங்க. But inspiring content, you will just reflect on it. ஏதோ ஒரு விஷயம் பார்ப்பீங்க, பார்த்து முடிச்சோன்னு என்னன்னா அதை பற்றி யோசிப்பீங்க. இது மாதிரி நம்ம என்ன யோசிச்சோம், it will multiply, ideas will multiply. That is why, although you love trending content, you want to create inspiring content. Before I get into what makes content inspiring, I want you to just pay attention to this data. There's a research that says, because of social media, the attention span is shrinking. Yes? For example, gone are the days நம்ம ஒரு screen பார்க்குறோம். Have you seen yourself having the TV on, watching your mobile? Have you seen yourself? And by the time there can be another media device, adu nama papo. So it is a kind of attention span that is shrinking. And for our awareness, why it is important to really focus on inspiring content. Now, in 2004, an average person could watch one single screen for 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes ku ஒரு screen பார்க்க முடியும். ஆனா இப்போ ஒரே screen-ஐ நம்மளால 47 seconds-க்கு மேல பார்க்க முடியாது. There is a research that says. Okay? So what happens is, you can't even boil an egg in that time. So nothing good comes out of that 47 seconds. So our brains are so much trained only to scroll rather than watch. Now, here is a question. Do you want to lead this change? And that is in your hand. Next, second data that we have is, you have what is called as scroll immersion. Scroll immersion. Have you seen yourself looking into something, adla multiple windows open பண்ணுவோம், இதுல இருப்போம் அதுல இருப்போம், எங்க ஆரம்பிச்சோம், we will never even know where we were. And at that point of time, somebody comes and asks for your phone. Will you be happy to give it to them? You will be happy? You will be like a child. நல்லா விளையாடிட்டு இருக்கேல, அது கையில இருந்து ஒரு பொம்மையை எடுத்துட்டு எப்படி கத்தும்? How will it shout? நீங்களா ஆக்டர்ஸ், விஷுவல் மீடியா, ஐ தாட்ஸ் ஒரு ஆக்ஷன்லாம் வரும், பயங்கர ஆக்ஷன்ஸ்லாம் வரும், எப்படி குழந்தை அழுவோம்? எக்ஸாக்ட்லி அப்படிதான் we will also be. When I say you, I include us. Whenever I go meet teachers, teacher training povela, when I speak to teachers, heads of institution, we always have a common concern. இப்போ இருக்கிற பசங்கள்லாம் வந்து மொபைலே பார்த்துட்டு இருக்காங்க, மொபைல்லே தான் இருக்காங்க. அந்த கன்சர்ன் எங்களுக்கு இருக்கு. யா, ஆனால் அதிலே ஒரு மிரர் பண்ணையில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நாங்களும் மொபைல் பார்க்குறோம். At least you are digital natives. You were born with a mobile phone. We were not born with a mobile phone. Till I finished my college, I didn't have a mobile phone. So I know a world that is without a mobile phone. And that is something, a beautiful experience that has helped me and people like me create our own in-depth content. Because our sources of knowledge comes from various spheres. So in social media scroll immersion, what happens is there is something that is called as cognitive fatigue. In simple words, cognitive na thinking. Fatigue na enna? Tired-ஆ இருக்கிறதுக்கே tired-ஆ இருக்கிற அளவுக்கு போகும். There's a cognitive fatigue that comes into because of scroll immersion. So even the algorithms in YouTube are being changed for long time viewing. There is a study. So having this background, when you do an inspiring content, longer viewership is also seen. So in order to create a content that has depth, there are a few things that we'll have to see. And there is also another study which I want you to see. One is screen time versus creation time. Screen time, now we are consumers of the screen. Creation time is you create content. I'm sure you create an Instagram post or FB post or content on YouTube, creation time. And on an average, this is the study, TikTokல வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 53.8 minutes average daily. YouTube is like 48.7 minutes of average daily. Instagram, it's 33.1 minute daily. And an average teenager around 13 years watches 2.5 hours day on social media. And there's a Malaysian youth study which says 42.2% spend more than 4 hours daily on TikTok and 48.6% open the app every day. So on the global front, you have internet users who spend 13 hours, 48 minutes per week scrolling short videos versus 10 hours, 15 minutes watching TV. So how do you see these figures like as a visual media communication? We can see there is a gap. We consume for hours. Nariya nara we are consuming. And as visual media students, you are creators. And the creation is only for minutes. So platforms are now changing the algorithm. And so here at this point, we can also ask a question. Can I have the next slide? Do we want to just trend for a week or leave a legacy? Do you want to just create content that will trend for a week, or do you want to leave a legacy? And for us to reflect, next, in order to create inspiring content, you need to go deep into a content. Fine, it's entertaining. Entertainment is so much. There is so much of entertainment. Reflection ku neriya content venu. So go deep, not viral. Choose substance over hype, real over real, and depth over trend. If you can have that kind of reflection, it will really be helpful. I want you to read, I found this on Instagram, and I thought this will also apply for us. You didn't come here to go viral, you're not a virus. I loved it. Can you read the next line? Yes. So you have a soul which can create. So nama usually ஒரு சின்ன shift, good to have a digital presence, media presence. You start with saying you want to trend because ஒரு digital identity கிடைக்கும். ஓ இவங்க சேனல் பார்க்கலாம், இவங்க கான்டென்ட் பார்க்கலாம், இல்லை இவங்க ஷார்ட் மூவிஸ் பார்க்கலாம், something like that. You start, but then you don't stay there. Because what happens is, ஒரு ஸ்டேஜுக்கு மேலே it becomes very cliched. It becomes like it is very, very shallow. You have a soul which can create, and that creation has a life of its own. And it is very important. Next slide, please. Can you read this together? You can read it together. தூக்கம் வராம இருக்கும். Yeah, you didn't? Because, so just not being viral means like when there is truth, it's not just being viral. Whenever you create a content, yeah, usually what will be the first thing that will be in your mind? In the content நான் create பண்றேன், என்ன வரணும்னு எதிர்பார்த்து பண்ணுவீங்க? எவ்வளோ likes, views வரணும். Okay, I understand, very normal. அதோட சேர்த்து just think, என்ன content கொடுத்தேன்னா, okay, என்கிட்ட என்ன ஒரு விஷயம் இருக்கு, when I give it, I'm sure views and likes will follow. So the focus is from not just views and likes. அதனால தான் I really do not know the word for ஏற்கனவே இருக்கிற கான்டென்ட்டை கொஞ்சம் மேஷப் பண்ணி வேற மாதிரி பண்ணி அதுக்கெல்லாம் நிறைய பேர் எனக்கு சொல்லி தருவாங்க. என் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் என் மைண்ட்லேயே நிற்காது. ஓகே, you have so many words for that. Yeah, அது பண்ண வேணான்னு சொல்லலை, அதோட சேர்த்து you have a truth to say. So all those recreations for views and making it viral, virusனாலே affect தான் ஆகும். ஒரு ஸ்டேஜில் அது affect தான் ஆகும். Focus from views to the content that you want to really create. Can I have the next slide, please? Next. I'm sorry, the previous one. Yeah. Can you read this together? I want you to read the first two lines loudly so that we get it into our mind. Yes. Why? And what should you do? The second half. Rather than focusing on the views and likes and the validation from the external source, focus on what you want to tell the world, what you have to say to the world, and what is that unique thing that you have. And that will always, that will give a freshness of voice, that will give a freshness of perspective, that will give a freshness of idea that can really, really conquer the world. And it is important to say, can I have the next one? Trends fade in a week, but depth will last for a lifetime. And trending gets views, but depth will get respect. And trending gets likes, and depth gets legacy. And this is very, very important. So moving from just trending content to inspiring content, you have a word which a Greek philosopher more than 2000 years ago spoke about it, and that word is called sublimity. Sublimity no oru vaartha irukku. That means, in simple words, when you watch something, you feel like, wow, how did they do this? அப்படின்ட்டு இருக்கும். எப்படி இது பண்ணாங்க? It's so striking. Fine? And that has a kind of reflection. So sublimity is any content that transports the viewer or the reader into another world. For you to relate to this feeling, maybe, just to give you a common example, I think most of you would have watched the movie Bahubali. You would have watched it. And there were two parts to that movie, right? Two parts. Avlo periya kadai adu. Rende line la sollaam. How, what is the story? Somebody wants to become the king, and there is a kind of rivalry, and how do they sort it out? That's the story. But the director was able to keep us waiting even for a year to check out what it was. That's the master skill. And he was able to elevate the viewer or the audience to transport us into another level of experience, something that we will never be able to experience at all. And it was like you and I were part of the kingdom. That is the effect of the art of work, which creates a sublime moment. Whenever you think about writing an ad, or when you have to create a short movie, a script, any kind of art form that you are very good at, how will my content transport the person who is going to see? Most of the things நம்மளுக்கு ட்ரெண்டிங்காக இருக்கிற விஷயங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் பேஸ்டான கான்டென்ட் இருக்கும். யா, ஏன்னா அது எவ்வளோ நாளும் எத்தனை வருஷமா a boy looks at a girl looks at a boy, இது எந்தெந்த ஆங்கிளில் சொல்ல முடியுமோ எவ்வளோ சொன்னாலும் இன்னைக்கு பார்த்தா நான் 3 கதையிலையுமே அது வேற மாதிரி தான் சொல்லியிருக்கீங்க. I really love the creativity. Yes, that's a starting point. but then go into the depth of it. There are so many things that you can work on. And here, I want you to play the video. While they still get it, I'll just give you a briefing on that, okay? This video was released around July 2021 at a time when we were coming out of the pandemic and also getting into a second wave, okay? And this video was released by a sports brand. நீங்க அதை கண்டுபிடிச்சிருவீங்க என்ன brandன்னு சொல்லிட்டு. But the way they wanted to really communicate was not about their brand, about a universal theme which would really connect them together. And this video that you will watch won the 2021 Cannes Grand Prix, and it got almost 1 million plus views. Fine? As technical students of Viscom, you can always check what made it so alive. The video is You Can't Stop Us by Nike. Nike is a sports brand, and they did not advocate for their product, but they advocated universally for a spirit of coming together. And they said, whatever happens, it was pandemic. People were not, sports was not allowed. So it really brought people together. It had 100 plus million views, and it won the Grand Prix at Cannes Festival, the highest award that could be got, right? And I'm not very sure how many of you were able to relate. Yes, when we have only trending content, we only get views, okay? But when you can create inspiring content, it can create a change. It can bring people together across the globe. And you can see it moved universally. They never spoke about buy our shoes, buy our t-shirt, no. This is watched even in 2026, and it still is a kind of a motivation for all the sports people. They have created a legacy of a message where there is a deeper content that has connected. And so because of this message, people say, I buy only their brand. They never advertised for it, but they were able to connect at a deeper level of the human spirit. So one small thing that you can always think, whenever you're writing a script, whenever you're doing some kind of work related to creating visual content, see what part of the human emotion am I going to touch? You are all experts in talking about and depicting love. That's beautiful. There are other emotions which can deeply connect. Explore that. See how, because I saw your movies were very creative. அதை நீங்க சொன்னீங்கன்னா அது இன்னும் பெட்டரா நல்லா சொல்ல முடியும். மேபி எங்களுக்கு ஒரு லிமிட்டட் பெர்செப்ஷன் இருக்கும். So I always want you to lead us with your ideas and creativity, and it lifts people up. And you can see, like, it was very creatively conceived. You had a technique there. What was that? It was a split screen montage video, and I was just looking into how they created. It was like they had 72 athletes from 24 sports into one continuous duet. The same action was happening, and they had brought in, it's an excellent editing skill that they had really done. And you also have from all, if you had watched it, you had a basketball player, and then that person becomes into a swimmer stroke, and a runner who jumps, then it becomes a skater's glide. You can see that. There were 72 split screens, 0 dialogue. There were no dialogue. There were only voiceover. And for 2 minutes, they had us. More than 47 seconds, we've crossed that limit, right? And it looked like magic. It had 4,000 hours of editing and to match that motion and vision. And this, to create an inspiring content, Longinus speaks about a formula that is THFDC. THFDC. Can I have the next one? That is, trending content over inspiring content should have sublimity. Your content should be able to transport people into another realm. Next. Next. Yeah, next. You can just move on. Yeah. Next. Yeah, you can just put the full slide. So FDC is, T stands for thought. whenever you're creating a content, there has to be a greatness of conception. The idea has to be universal, and it's not about who is doing it. And it should have transported the viewers beyond fear and isolation. That is what happened in Nike's ad. And H stands for heart, strong emotion, an emotion that is very real. We have a lot of real emotion. Wonderful. அது நல்லா இருக்கு, பார்க்கறதுக்கு நல்லா இருக்கு. But real lifeல அப்படியே கத்திட்டு இருக்க மாட்டோம் இல்லையா? Now you are in an age where you can bring the real into view. Fine? So you get goosebumps when you see certain kind of content that is created. So that was not a reel for trends. It had real emotion and passion. And F stands for the figures of speech, or in other words, visual language. The split screen, what's the metaphor? That one idea, in that idea they were able to bring in the message through editing. And D stands for diction. When I say diction, it's the words you use. Here I would like to spend some time. The kind of language that we speak has evolved over a period of time. The language, most of the time, when it is disrespectful, has a lot of views. When it is respectful, it is not accepted. It doesn't get likes. And that is a trend that has been created, accepted, normalized. And one human thing that we need to know is words have power. Words have power. When I say words have power, what you say is important, and how you say is very, very important. And the words that you speak have a great effect. I would like you to listen to two things about words. In the year 1945, when you had the Second World War, you had military wars that were going on. இப்போ ஒரு கண்ட்ரியில் வந்து இருக்கிற ஒரு சிப்பாய் இன்னொரு கண்ட்ரியில் போய் மாட்டிக்கிட்டாங்கன்னா, ஸ்பையாக மாட்டிக்கிட்டாங்கன்னா என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்னா, அவங்கள வந்து they will execute them. They will not be sent back to their place. So what happened was, there was a spy from one country who was caught in another country. அங்கே போயிட்டோன்னே எல்லாரும் சொல்லுவாங்க, in 10 days he will be executed. But this military man was a person of great discipline and valor. He was very strong, and even somehow the enemy country liked this general very much. And somehow they wanted to be very kind. அப்போ அன்னைக்கு தான் அவங்களை எக்ஸிக்யூட் பண்ண போகிறாங்க. அப்போ வந்து பேசுகிறாங்க, சொல்கிறாங்க, டுடே யூ ஆர் கோயிங் டு டை. ஒரு மிலிட்ரி பர்சன் எப்பயும் ஓகே அப்படின்னு தான் சொல்லுவாங்க. இட் ஹாஸ் கிரேட் எஃபெக்ட். நான் பார்த்துருக்கேன் என்னோட ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் பேசுகிற, உன்னை சாவடிச்சிருவேன் அப்படின்வாங்க. I request them not to say. Just imagine if you're going to put it into action. Will the scene remain the same? Whatever words that we say have so much of power. It creates your destiny. It creates your destiny. It is not just a thought. A Japanese scientist, Masaru Emoto, says, he's done a lot of experiments. அவர் ஒரு experiment, famous experiment, water experiment பண்ணாரு. எப்படின்னா, he had 3 glasses of water. ஒரு இதில் லவ் அப்படின்னு எழுதியிருந்தார். இன்னொரு கிளாஸ் ஆஃப் வாட்டர் மேலே வெளியில் வந்து ஹெய்ட் அப்படின்னு எழுதியிருந்தார். இன்னொரு கிளாஸ் ஆஃப் வாட்டருக்கு வெளியில் வந்து ஃபூல் அப்படின்னு எழுதியிருந்தார். 3 டீம்ஸ் எம்ப்ளாய்டு. ஒரு மாதம் ஃபுல்லாக போய் என்ன பண்ணோம், அந்த லவ் அப்படின்னு இருக்கிற கிளாஸ் ஆஃப் வாட்டர் கிட்ட ரொம்ப அன்பாக, பிரியமாக, பாசமாக பேசணும். யூஆர் வண்டர்ஃபுல், யூஆர் கிரேட், யூஆர் எக்ஸலண்ட், ஐ லைக் யூ ஸோ மச் அப்படின்னு தான் பேசணும் கிளாஸ் ஆஃப் வாட்டர் கிட்ட. ஹேட் அப்படின்னு எழுதியிருக்கிற இடத்துல வந்து என்ன எழுதணும், திட்டணும். யாரையாவது நினச்சி பயங்கரமாக திட்டணும். ரொம்ப கோவம் வந்தால் எப்படி திட்டுவாங்களோ திட்டுவாங்க. அண்ட் யூ ஃபூல் அப்படின்னு எழுதியிருக்கிறதுலையும் ஒரு பிடிக்காதவங்கள நேரில் திட்ட முடியாது இல்லையா, அதை வந்து திட்டுற மாதிரி திட்டணும். ஆஃப்டர் 1 month, these glasses of water were frozen. And then அந்த ஐஸ் இருக்கும் இல்லையா, ஃப்ரீஸ் ஆகிட்டோன்னு ஐஸ், அந்த ஐஸை எடுத்துகிட்டு ஒரு மைக்ரோஸ்கோப் கீழே பார்த்தா டிசைன்ஸ் இருக்குமா, டிசைன்ஸ் இருக்கும். ஐ ரியலி வாண்டட் டு பிரிங் இட் ஹியர், ஐ ஃபர்காட். பட் நீங்கள் வெப்சைட்டில் போய் பார்க்கலாம். ஜாப்பனீஸ் சயின்டிஸ்ட் மசாரோ எமோட்டோ அப்படின்னு அவர் அந்த ரீடிங்ஸ் வச்சுருக்காரு. தேட் விச் கிளாஸ் விச் ஹேட் லவ், அன்பாக பேசினாங்க, நல்லா பேசினாங்களோ, அந்த ஐஸில் இருக்கிற ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் வந்து ஸ்னோஃப்ளேக் மாதிரி அழகாக இருக்குது. அந்த ஹேட், யூ ஃபூல் இருக்கிறதெல்லாம் crystal form ஆகலை அண்ட் ஒரு இது வந்து கலரே மாறிடுச்சு. இது மாதிரி இவர் இந்த ஒரு எக்ஸ்பெரிமெண்ட் மட்டும் இல்லை, யூ கேன் செக் ஹி ஹஸ் டன் லைக் so many experiments on water and he concludes by saying words have power on water. Your body is made up of 70% of water. So when it has power on water, the words that we speak to human beings who is made up of 70% of water also has a great effect. The words we speak are very, very powerful. Very powerful. நம்ம இப்போ ட்ரெண்டாக இருக்கிற வார்த்தையெல்லாம் நம்ம பேசல. நான் எப்பயுமே இந்த விஷுவல் மீடியா அவங்களுக்கு பேசல ரொம்ப ரெஸ்பெக்ட்ஃபுல்லாக டிக்னிஃபைடாக உங்களை பார்த்தா ரெஸ்பெக்ட் வரணும். அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு கான்டென்ட் க்ரியேட் பண்ணல. யூ லீட் த வேர்ல்ட் வித் சேஞ்ச். ஐ வில் ஜஸ்ட் கிவ் யூ 30 seconds. பக்கத்தில் இருக்கவங்க உங்கள் ஃப்ரெண்டா கொஞ்சம் தூங்கிட்டாங்க, பரவாயில்ல, எழுப்பி வாட் இஸ் ஸோ குட் அபவுட் தட் பர்சன், ஐ அப்ரிஷியேட் யூ ஃபார் திஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லாமல் தூங்குறவங்கள பார்க்க வேணாம், பக்கத்தில் இருக்கிறவங்கள பாருங்கள். உங்கள் ஃப்ரெண்டு கிட்ட பக்கத்தில் ஐ அப்ரிஷியேட் யூ ஃபார் திஸ். எந்த ஒரு விஷயத்துக்கு அவங்கள அப்ரிஷியேட் பண்ணாங்க. யூஸ்வலாக ஒரு விஷயம் நல்லா இல்லைன்னா டக்குன்னு சொல்லிடுவோம், இது நல்லா இல்லை அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். பட் அப்ரிஷியேட் பண்ணால் மனசில் நினச்சிட்டு போயிடுவோம் இல்லையா? Yeah, I want to appreciate your principal for being a very dynamic person. She's very thoughtful. Usually இப்போ leaders எல்லாருமே நான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்கிற இடத்துல I was just observing, she was acknowledging everyone. அது கவனிச்சிங்கல்ல? Yeah, கவனிச்சிங்களா இல்லையா? And your HOD is very enthusiastic. அப்படியா? She's very enthusiastic and she coordinates a lot of things. இப்படி நம்ம நினைப்போம் மனசில், ஆனால் பார்க்கல சொல்ல மாட்டோம். பக்கத்தில் சொல்லிட்டீங்களா? What is so nice about the friend next to you? What is so nice? சொல்லிட்டீங்களா இல்லையா? Yes. If you see the words that you say brings life. இப்போ ஒரு விஷயம் இப்போ if you've done that exercise, when your friend says, you come alive. Words have power. அந்த வார்த்தையை நீங்கள் first time கேட்கல, but then you take time and you say, and the content that you create with the right set of words always has a power. Next. So there is a Longinus test that says, Longinus is the Greek philosopher who speaks about sublimity. Sublimity na ஒரு content, ஒரு wow moment over a period of time அந்த விஷயத்தை பார்த்தாலும் we will feel. Anytime, any way you get it. Okay? So when you create a content that has a sublime effect, it pleases all the time. Everybody, every age group, the ad that we saw, from kids to grandparents, they would love it. They would love it. Because that is the kind of music they brought in, the split screen, the conception of the idea was very, very deep. And next time you have to create a content, don't just focus on what views or like would come. Think about one big thought. ஏதாவது ஒரு விஷயம் இது வரைக்கும் அந்த ஆங்கிளில் யோசிச்சிருக்க மாட்டாங்க. I want to bring in a change. You have this power of your visual medium and you are the leader there. What is that one big thought that you want to put it across? Okay, and what will be the visual device you would use? And restraint. When I say restraint, அதில் வந்து டயலாக்ஸே இல்லை. எந்த ஒரு விஷயத்தை கட் பண்ணி அந்த விஷயத்தை வேற மாதிரி எப்படி சொல்லலாம்? That will add creativity. That will bring in a lot of creativity. You can always do. Next. So your takeaway will be real stories plus masterful craft and one universal truth that can beat the 47 seconds scroll limit. And in the whole thing, be very careful about what is called as true sublime and false sublime. True sublime will have a lasting impact. ஒரு விஷயம் பார்த்தோன்னா திரும்ப it will help you to create more. False sublime is the trending content. அந்த நேரம் நல்லா இருக்கும், அதுக்கப்புறம் you won't even remember it. Okay, அது right wrong நான் சொல்லலை, but it is something that will add to your portfolio. That is very important. And can we just have the next one? So I would like to share a few ideas where the thought is very important. Sometimes you will think, or girl and boy relationship solradhu da ellarkum kandipa irukum illen solla, because you have very creative ways, but there is more to the lens that you can use. One can be, for example, it can be idu neenga ungaloda projects ah kuda neenga seiyalam. You can put it as a kind of Trichy campaign. Always think big. Or Trichy campaign நீங்க லீட் பண்ணலாம். So 1 minute in my shoes, நீங்க அது தமிழ்ல செய்யுங்க, இங்கிலீஷ்ல செய்யுங்க. அதே நேரம், if you're very fluent in Tamil, excellent. You create wonderful content. Ana, if you want to take it to the global stage, where you want it to be make universal, learn the language. English வந்து communication-காக இல்ல, just to communicate through the right visuals, you can use it. Okay, you can learn the language. So 1 minute in my shoes அப்படின்றது a point of view of a sanitary worker, okay, a differently abled friend, இதெல்லாம் வந்து நீங்க ஒரு blog மாதிரியே ஆரம்பிக்கலாம். So you create a thought. That's a big thought. I told you, no, for your views அது மட்டும் யோசிக்காதீங்க, big thoughtக்கு என்ன ideas ன்னு. And you can also say one page that changed me. It can be a 45-second or a 1 minute reel or something, where it can be like, you can find out book lovers. உங்களுக்கு book படிக்கணும்னு கூட இல்ல, but find out book lovers கிட்ட, can you tell me that one line that changed? And if you can really practice, get their appointment earlier, அந்த புக்கோட அந்த பேஜ்ல இருந்து ஒரே ஒரு லைன் எங்களுக்கு படிச்சு காமிச்சிட்டு you can leave it at that point. Just show the cover. நான் சொல்றது ரொம்ப simple idea, but you can make it more technically also better. You can do that. Next one is humans of Tiruchirappalli நீங்க பண்ணலாம். நிறைய இருக்கு. Humans of New York, humans of Hyderabad அப்படின்ட்டு இருக்கு. These people can speak for 1 minute about things that inspire them. So நீங்க அப்படியே அந்த scenarioவே மாத்துவீங்க. You will move from trending content to inspiring content. And you can also like take emotions like loneliness, anxiety, fear, okay, all these things. இதை எந்த மாதிரி விஷயத்துல காமிக்கலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி you can take emotions and do. And also then you can show word series. Gift a word ன்னு சொல்லலாம். ஒரு ஃப்ரெண்டுக்கு யூசுவலா gift கொடுப்பாங்க இல்லையா, like if you have to gift a word, யாருக்கு என்ன word gift பண்ணுவீங்க, make it very clear. The word choice should be clean and respectful அப்படின்னு நீங்க சொல்லலாம். So in small things you can lead a campaign where you will be able to generate ideas. And sometimes you can have like unseen jobs. The campus le pathina, you can talk about your gardener, you can talk about the person who cleans the washroom or who cleans the floor. Unseen jobs in or a series neenga post pandinga vengle, you will be leading your social media with ideas and creativity. And also I would also ask you, digital detox ன்ட்டு இருக்கு. When was the last time you saw the stars in the sky? When was the last time? Yesterday? Yeah? Okay. Bring in a movement where screen illa நிறைய நேரம் ஏன் screen பார்க்கறோம்னா வேற என்ன பண்ணணும்னு தெரியாது. If you're very creative, you can think about the ways that screen இல்லாம என்னெல்லாம் பண்ணலாம். For example, I'm just telling from my idea. There is a phone கீழே போட்டு உடைஞ்சிருது. ஒரு ஃபோன்லாம் உடைக்காதீங்க, அது நீங்கள் எப்படி அதில் கிராஃபிக்கில் காமிச்சிக்கணும்னு பார்த்துக்கோங்க. Next 60 seconds, how your life can be without a phone. Listening to the sounds around, seeing visually whatever is around. If you can create such things, these kind of contents will inspire and will also trend. Because you are going to create that trend. Trend என்ன யாரோ ஒருத்தவங்க கிரியேட் பண்ணாங்க, அதை நம்ம ஃபாலோ பண்ணலாம். பட் யூ கேன் ஆல்சோ லீட் அ ட்ரெண்ட் வேர் யூ ஹாவ் அன் இன்ஸ்பைரிங் கான்டென்ட். ஸோ டு டூ ஆல் தீஸ் திங்ஸ் யூ ஷுட் ஃபில் யோர் கப். இந்த தாட்ஸ் ஐடியாஸ் வருதுன்னா ட்ரெண்டிங் கான்டென்ட் மட்டுமே பார்த்துட்டு இருந்தால் இன்ஸ்பைரிங் கான்டென்ட் க்ரியேட் பண்ண முடியாது. ஒரு சாத்துக்குடியை பிழிஞ்சா என்ன வரும், என்ன ஜூஸ் வரும்? நான் கிரேப் ஜூஸ்ன்னு சொல்கிறேன். மேம் ஸ்டூப்பிடாட்டம் பேசாதீங்கன்னு மனசில் நினச்சிட்டிங்க, எனக்கு மைண்ட் வாய்ஸ் கேட்டுருச்சு. ஏன் அது மாதிரி இருக்கும் நம்ம ட்ரெண்டிங் கான்டென்ட் பார்த்துட்டு இன்ஸ்பைரிங் கான்டென்ட் க்ரியேட் பண்ணுறது. right? What is inside only will come outside. So how do you fill your cup? Do whatever you like, ellame pannunga, but also make time for things like in English we will general English iruko, they'll say basic skills ku vandu LSRW nu solluvaanga. And the LSRW routine or 10 minutes 10 minutes 10 minutes or 15 minutes, next one please, 15 minutes abdin solli you can have it like it's not like one thing, morning or 15 minutes, madhyana or 15 minutes, unga 15 minutes eppadi irnalum paravala. What you listen for 15 minutes, let it be inspiring. Let it be inspiring. I like the music that you played when we were waiting. Meditation music, yaar potadu? Yeah, very good. You can calm down and listen to such music because creativity happens then. Or 10 minutes அதை போட்டுட்டு உட்காந்துருக்கையில் உங்களுக்கு you will be able to. And 10 years from now, you will have a vision. இவங்கள மாதிரி ஒரு டிரெக்டர் ஆகணும், இல்லை இவங்கள மாதிரி ஒரு ஆக்டர் ஆகணும், இவங்கள மாதிரி ஒரு டான்சர் ஆகணும். வாட் எவர் இஸ் யோர் விஷன், ஓகே, அது ரிலேட்டடான கான்டென்ட், பாட்காஸ்ட், வாட் எவர் யூ ஆர் இன்ட்ரெஸ்டட் இன், அந்த டெக்னிக்காலிட்டிஸ்க்குரியது லிசன் பண்ணுங்க. ஐ டோன்ட் வாண்ட் யூ டு see, I want you to listen. When you listen, you will be able to imagine much better. I will tell you why. Suppose I show you a picture of a mountain. Mountain யோசிங்கன்னா அந்த mountain தான் யோசிப்பீங்க. Suppose I ask you to close your eyes and I say mountain, imagine na. When I say mountain, சில பேருக்கு வந்து snow capped mountain இருக்கும், இல்லைன்னா a mountain with greenery இருக்கும், a mountain with waterfall இருக்கும், ஒரு sunrise இருக்கும். That's where creativity is, when you listen. That is very important. Second one is yes. Yes is speaking. The words you speak, நீங்க ரொம்ப ஃப்ளூவெண்ட்டாக தமிழும் பேச வேணாம், ஃப்ளூவெண்ட்டாக இங்கிலீஷும் பேச வேணாம். ஆனால் ரெஸ்பெக்ட்ஃபுல்லாக உங்களே பார்த்து ரெஸ்பெக்ட் வர மாதிரி வேர்ட்ஸ் பேசல, people will respect your work also. And also remember, the words that you use in your content will create life. Next is reading. It can be difficult for some, but I will always say, whatever you want to, for example, you want to do something in photography, adla best book edun paranga, you get a soft copy illa you get a book. I always tell my students, carry a book. Phones are easier, but phone la vanda focus kadikadu. Book padikalan dhaan povinga, adukadela evlo notifications, evlo vela ungalku irukku, kashtam illaya? So you won't have that focus. For 15 minutes, I'll always ask them, carry a book. Don't read it till you... Book irukutto. Because adu irukutto, denakku adu eduthu paathu siringa, okay, fine, vechirunga. But create that connection with the book. One, that should be a book that's related to something that you love to do. Okay? So when you have one fine day, you will open the book. And when you see like books la vanda books yaaruklam pudikkum? I'm so happy, a few hands. Konjam pidikuma, nariya pidikuma? Okay, that's lovely. Okay. When you open a book, have you smelt the book? How many of you love the smell of book? That's so much. You know something that's a beautiful word for that? It's called bibliosmia. When you experience that, it's bibliosmia. Fine? And people who love books, collect books, read books, they have a name. That's a very common word. Anybody knows that? It's a bibliophile. A person who loves books, collects books, reads books, spends time with books is a bibliophile. And there can be certain books which have a great impact in your life. Find that book. Finding that book is finding the best friend for your life. Find that book and you have a word for it. I have 2 books which are my best companions. It will be beside my bed. Morning எழுந்து அதை பார்த்தா எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா அதை பார்த்து சிரிச்சிட்டு வருவேன் நான். Okay? It is, one is Oprah Winfrey's What I Know for Sure. Okay? The other one is the Bible. Both. They inspire you, they give you what you need. Fine? And you have a lot of reverence and love for a particular book. It's called bibliolatry. So these are ways you fill your cup where you can move from trending content to inspiring content. The last one is W. W is writing. So writing வந்து நிறைய பேருக்கு பிடிக்கும் பிடிக்காது. Wherever you are typing it on your phone or you can always write it down in your notebook. Always maintain a note of gratitude. For example, you have gratitude changes the way your mind can think. Given 1 minute, when you have to say something, neriya complain பண்றீங்களா or you are thankful for ன்னு பார்க்கலாம். The more you are thankful for, when you're able to practice gratitude, what happens is scientifically, there is a place here in the brain called prefrontal cortex. That is the place which gets excited when you achieve something. The same is true when you experience gratitude. When you are thankful, the same thing happens. There was a study that was made when 3,000 people were asked to write for a month the things that they were grateful for. And afterwards, their health, when they saw their health, how it was like, even depression kuda avangalukku poirucham. So that is the power of gratitude. And you have Oprah Winfrey, and you have a book that she has written, The Life You Want. Adla வந்து என்ன சொல்றாங்க அப்படின்னா, have a kind of a Sunday routine where on a Sunday evening, write 5 things you are grateful for. When I say 5 things you are grateful for, it could be, you can begin like, I am grateful for my mother, my father, whatever it is like. The next day irundhu morning unga prayer mudichona, I'm sure you will have this habit stacking. I hope you brush your teeth in the morning at whatever time you get up. Yes? No? Sure, no? அது உங்களுக்கும் நல்லது, எல்லாத்துக்கும் நல்லது. So when you do that, do this. Whatever you've written, the 5 things that you're grateful for, read that loudly. Next Sunday, add 5 more. Don't repeat what you have. It's a kind of a database of gratitude. Next week, you will read 10 things. It's a very simple routine. At the end of the month, I think you will have more than 150 things to be grateful for. So it will change your brain wiring. It will change your brain wiring, and you will have more things to be grateful for. The way you fill your cup can change what you think about moving from trending content to inspiring content, and creating inspiring content itself can become a trend. And you need to dig deeper, be stronger, fill your cup, and you know something, why should you do it? Why should you do it? Because this world is a beautiful place. When God created each one of you, He took a lot of time. He took a lot of time. Tell your friend, God created you in the most beautiful way. Can you tell that? God created you in the most beautiful way. You don't think your friend is looking good? Yes or no? Because He has put in a purpose in your mind. He has put in a purpose in your mind, and you have a gift which you can give it to the world. You have come in with a gift that you can give to the world, and that when you do through your content, it will be the most beautiful thing. So I wish, and I also seek God's blessings on each one of you, for you to create inspiring content which changes the world and also changes the perspective in which the world is. Thank you for your patient listening, and all the very best. Thank you.